Hello and welcome to this 7th tutorial video on how to make a jointed ragdoll. I'm going to start off with the upper arms. I've left openings at the back for filling and turn them the right way out. There's a narrower bottom and a slightly wider top, so I can make sure I've got them the right way up, but that won't really matter until we're jointing. I'm using little bits of filling at a time so that I can make sure I get it all the way in and there aren't any pockets or lumps. So small piece at a time, just take your time and make sure it's quite well filled. Our simpler ragdoll, our unjointed ragdoll, is quite loosely filled in the body. This needs to be a little firmer so that when you pop the button onto here, it holds its shape a little bit, and when you're happy that that's filled enough, you can pop that in and close that opening up with ladder stitch and do the same on the other upper arm. Here are the lower arms, and I've snipped around this curve so that when I turn the arms the right side out it's nice and smooth and it's got the divided top there. And again, little bits of filling. I'm going to use, this is the back of a paintbrush, to make sure I get the filling into the thumb. So through the back opening there again, and I'm going to go right down to start off, down to the bottom and into that thumb, because that's the most difficult bit to make sure it gets evenly filled. And that's good, but you can use something, a chopstick or a pencil, or as I said in my case, the end of a paintbrush, so that you can make sure you push it right the way in to the bottom. It also makes sure that it's turned out properly as well. And then down into the hand, speed it up, and up into the top two sections. Now these don't need to be too filled because we're going to have to fold those around the bottom of the upper arm. So fill this up, and once we're confident that we've got it in all of the little pieces like the thumb, and we've got plenty in there, and again it's a little bit firm but not too firm, and we can flatten that top bit down. Then we can close that back opening again using ladder stitch and do the same on the other lower arm. Now we're going to do the same with the upper legs. Again, wider at the top and narrower at the bottom, and just a little bit of stuffing at a time so as not to create pockets or lumps or bumps. So just make sure that goes down to the bottom, and again we want this to be firm enough that when it's button jointed it holds its shape. So just keep popping that into there, working it in with your fingertips. You can always get more of this filling in than you think. Just come back down. Keep working it down and making sure it's evenly spread out. And I'll speed it up for ease. Just pushing extra little bits in so that it's nice and even all over and firm enough to take a button without squashing completely. And we'll do the other one the same. Then tuck in these edges and close that opening with ladder stitch. All done. Now we've got the lower legs with the foot pads in and these two separate sections at the top, and through that back opening again we're going to insert down to the tips of the toes. First of all, get it to the extremities, just using my thumb there to push it to the tip of the toe, and little bit more, shaping the foot. Keep popping in small sections at a time. Now I'm going to go up to the top there, remembering that we don't want this to be too firmly stuffed at the top, otherwise we won't be able to fit the upper leg into this V shape that we've created. We need to make sure it will squash down a little bit. Keep filling. This doll will take about 100 grams more filling, which is kind of like not quite twice as much, but a good portion more filling than our simpler doll, just because all of the limbs have to be quite full to hold their shape when they're button jointed. There we go, just a little tiny bit more. Just to make sure it's got a good shape, and then we can close that seam with a ladder stitch and do the same on the other leg, and we're done. That concludes our tutorial video. I hope it's been helpful. If it has, please subscribe. We'd love your feedback and a like. There are more videos coming soon.